With the COVID threat rearing its head again, insurance firms are adjusting their coverage to control losses. Hotai, Chung Kuo, and Cathay Century Insurance have halted their sale of their COVID policies. Union Insurance will do the same on Wednesday.
Other firms, such as Fubon Financial, have unveiled new pandemic policies with reduced claim payouts. Fubon's new policy offers nothing for a COVID diagnosis and nothing for home isolation, but it keeps the original 100,000 NT payout for hospitalization.
The customer calls come in a seemingly endless stream of work for staff. With the domestic epidemic surging, this insurance firm has suspended the sale of its popular COVID policy. This mountain of paperwork is all pandemic policies. Over at this other insurance company, demand is just as hot for COVID insurance. A long line stretches out along the arcade as people try to get their policies before the 5:30 deadline. Another insurance branch has put up a sign to warn customers that it's no longer taking applications. Due to the escalation of the epidemic, demand for pandemic policies has soared, and insurance companies are rushing to mitigate losses. Cathay Century Insurance stopped selling its COVID policy on Tuesday. Union Insurance will do the same on Wednesday, suspending a policy that pays 20,000 NT for a COVID diagnosis and 10,000 NT for an isolation order. Fubon, Chung Kuo, and Hotai dropped their pandemic offerings on Monday.
I think people are buying them up like crazy now because there have really been too many cases recently, and you could get ordered to home isolate at any time. I just got back from abroad. I couldn't buy it if I wanted to. I hear that you can't buy such policies anymore.
Fearing steep losses from COVID payouts, some insurance firms are adjusting their offerings. On Tuesday, Fubon updated its pandemic policy, removing provisions that pay for a COVID diagnosis and isolation, but keeping the 100,000 NT compensation for hospitalization. Many other firms plan to do the same, lowering their payouts for COVID-related incidents.
We can see that the incidence rate is rising clearly and quickly. Therefore, considerable revisions to the policy may be made. You can expect that if we offer this policy again in the future, the compensation amounts will be revised downward.
With COVID cases on the rise, the Financial Supervisory Commission has set out guidelines to avert insurance disputes. Under these guidelines, mild cases that isolate at home are entitled to general medical care payouts if they can demonstrate, quote, medical engagement. They cannot collect the compensation granted for intensive care or stays in negative pressure rooms. The guidelines state that payments must be provided in accordance to the contract signed to ensure the rights and interests of consumers.